What's up, beautiful people? DH here, and I wanted to talk about something that's always ringing true. As I've lived life, I've always, at least personally, really had an unconditional love for all people, regardless of what they look like, where they were from, what language they spoke, how they smelt, how they talked. I've always generally had a gift of just fitting in and getting along with any and all beings. And this message is coming from just judgment. Judgment is density. Judgment is an old program, picking a side of the fence, picking one side. As you pick one side, if you speak universal love and you believe in your heart of love and loving all, how can we pick sides of fences? How can we pick one side? Because if you pick one side, the other side, as you now see it, there's judgment that they're not worthy to you. They're different. They believe differently, so therefore you feel differently towards them. We've exceeded that we are human beings in one species, and one came from the same creator. And now we're looking at it, well, they're wearing a different color, or they're speaking a different language, or they believe something differently, or they go to one church and I go to another, or they don't go to church, so they must be in this new age group or some weird group that doesn't believe in what I believe, so I don't resonate with them. And all of these things have been created to create judgment, to root an ego, to create separation, which is density. It actually doesn't bring joy, peace, and happiness. And so my message is coming as just in my personal experience. I didn't grow up with very many attachments. I didn't grow up going to one group or one activity or one church or one belief system. I actually wasn't imposed on any belief system by my parents, family, or friends. It was just me. And generally, I've been extremely happy and upbeat and positive because I wasn't really consumed with a belief system that I was forced upon. And so if we're believing in any one system, in any one thing that isn't coming from within us, that isn't universal, that isn't our divine truth, that we come from within, there's all kinds of resources on the outside that we can pour in and believe and adapt and attach to. But that isn't us. We didn't come here with a belief system. We didn't arrive here as infants with a belief system. Those judgments were created as we grew up and we exposed ourselves to certain societal situations. And as a baby, you're exposed to who? Your parents, your grandparents, and then your schools, and then your churches, and then your activities, and then the people that you surround yourself with, and then kind of where you're going up to that point until you come to a point where everything is governed by yourself. You know, and we can use the human example in this case is I'm 40 years old. I don't go to my mom and dad for a lot of things. Now we're almost like peers. And I reach out to them just as a soul connection. And I entrust that there is no judgment from my family because we're family, right? We all chose to be in this together. However, I'm not here to control anybody's judgments because that would probably be me just judging that they would be judging. It's me projecting judgment. And so my point on this is that judgment is rooted in fear. Judgment is rooted in separation. Judgment's ally is hate. It's not love. Judgment is an old program, an old paradigm, an old belief system that's expiring. It's actually going away. It's like the movies where the person's on the raft and they're coming up to this waterfall that like there's no way they're going to survive. That's judgment. That's fear. That's separation. That's old programs. That's letting go. That's letting go of these old patriarchal beliefs and all these old rigid separating guidelines and these perceived fake truths. We get to the point, and I speak from my own personal experience, that all of those things that are not truths that came from within me that I feel, they're being let go of with gratitude. because I'm so grateful for all of the experiences and all of the inputs that I have received up to this point. But if you're watching this video and you actually are open to receive new perspective, then we've got to let judgment go. It starts with judgment of self. It starts with expressing the things that are stored in us, the density, so we can let those judgments out, the separation, the opinions. You know, we were taught to always have an opinion. Speak for yourself. They're different things, right? Opinion is rooted in belief. Belief carries doubt. Where's our knowing? Come into your truth. Come into our truth. There's one universal truth within us. That's why we are unique. We are one unique being amongst the 7 billion people on planet Earth. We are the only one of us. So why would we absorb someone else's belief system? Why would we absorb another belief system and it becomes so ingrained in us that we believe it to be true? If it's not rooted in love, if it's not free of separation, if it's not free of judgment, then it's worth us not having. It's worth us not carrying. And so it's very important for us to maintain the feeling of high frequency, high vibration, high energy, peace, love, unity consciousness, Christed consciousness. And if we're throwing our stones and we're throwing our daggers at people because of a different belief system, we got to look in the mirror and understand that we are the ones in pain. It's not them. If people don't align with how you live or we live and they choose different, we send them love. We send them happiness. It's not a told them so. I knew they wouldn't be happy because they don't believe in my structure system. No, we sow love. We send love to all. And all we wish is that people live their truth. All we do is wish people and send people love that they can live their truth. That's it. You know, if there's anybody that I'm friends with that is strongly on one side of a fence, doesn't matter what it is, it could be political, religious. We've never had that conversation because it was never important. If we've connected on a soul level, on a human level too, and it's been through love and peace and happiness, it's never come up. It's never been an issue. So if it's never been an issue with me and another person, collectively it shouldn't be an issue either. And yet there's still judgment. But just know, it's just like that waterfall example. All those old beliefs, all those old systems, all those old programs, as we raise our consciousness, as we let go and declutter our hearts and emotions and physical lives, we declutter and detox it. We grow spiritually as we become open. What are we putting in? Seeds of love, planting so many seeds of love. It's beautiful. So as I stand here with a mustache and a ponytail, it's just because I'm in my own truth. It's not for me to get a rise out of anybody. It's not for me to voluntarily stand apart. It's for me to be playful. It's for me to just live the life. I was gifted this ability for a reason. Just embody it. I'm embodying my truth. Embodying my truth with love and loving all beings for embodying their truth. And knowing that their truth may be different. So can we all just love all? Start from our heart space and send love to all without judgment. If we're feeling judgment, there's fear and there's pain, acknowledge that judgment and go and breathe it out. Let it go. And then feel how beautiful and light you feel. Feel how amazing that feels. If we're still judging, we still have things that we need to release. If we're still judging, we're still on our path. And as humans, we've carried that. So if 2020 brings anything to you, let it be love. Let it be free of judgment. Let it be letting go of fears, of belief systems and limiting beliefs. Don't be afraid of transition and change. Don't be afraid of expanding. Don't be afraid of people throwing stones or people trying to convince you. There's no convincing. There's no convincing by anything outside of me. We got to dig deep within our own soul. Listen to our own truth. The resources and the things outside of us can be catalysts or they could be inhibitors. but our soul has to make those decisions. And the more open we are, the faster we make those decisions, the faster we let go of things, the more rapidly our timelines collapse. To where maybe in my situation, you could end up separating in a relationship. And for many people, that would take years of trauma. Or it could just instantly change. Or you could just see the love and divinity in all of it. Or you could let go of the beliefs that have been stored for hundreds of years, the negative beliefs that we just go right into. No, you create your own path. We create our own. I love all of y'all. 2020 is opportunity for new vision. It's energetically already happening. So as you follow your feel and follow your flow, you'll start feeling more aligned and more at peace. So peace and love to all.